Good afternoon, friends, and thank you very much for coming for this interaction. I would especially like to welcome all those who are going for the World Hindi Conference and who have been able to make it for today's briefing. I have one announcement to make, and subsequently I also, in response to a request from several of you, have something to display. But we will go with the announcement first. Please be patient. Everything, we are very transparent, and everything that we say or display will be available for all of you to see. This was just to sort of an appetizer for you to wonder what that is, but we will let you know. But the announcement that I have is about the 9th World Hindi Conference, which is going to be held in Johannesburg, South Africa, from 22nd to 24th September. The conference will be held at Sandton Convention Center, which will be named as Gandhi Gram for the duration of this conference. The main theme of the conference, which is the 9th World Hindi Conference, will be Bhasha Ki Asmita or Hindi Ka Vaishvik Sandarbh. For those of you who are not able to understand Hindi, it means identity of language and globalization of Hindi. The conference has 9 sessions on a variety of subjects, and rather than me speaking about it, I have requested my colleague, Joint Secretary Administration, Mr. Anup Mudgal, who will briefly talk to you about the conference and will be able to respond to any questions that you have on that conference. So I will request him to speak a little bit about the conference and then respond to questions before we go to the next element of our interaction today. Anup.
It's too high-tech for me. Thank you so much for being patient to have this briefing on World Hindi Conference. I speak both in Hindi and English because since I'm going to talk about 9th World Hindi Conference, I use both languages. And if there's any issue where you feel that I should translate from one to the other, I'll do it for you. जैसे कि मेरे मित्र श्री अपूर्वी ने बताया, नवा विश्व हिंदी सम्मेलन हम लोग जोहानिसबर्ग में साउथ अफ्रीका में करने जा रहे हैं, और ये इस वीकेंड जो आ रहा है उसके ऊपर 22 से लेकर 24 तारीख तक होगा. जो विश्व हिंदी सम्मेलनों का जो ट्रेडिशन था वो बहुत पुराना है. 1975 में शुरू हुआ था, और पहला सम्मेलन जो था वो नागपुर में हुआ 1975 में. और ये हमारी जो राजभाषा समिति वर्धा ने इसका इनिशिएटिव लिया, और जो राजभाषा समिति वर्धा थी वो आपको जानकर बड़ी खुशी होगी कि वो महात्मा गांधी ने खुद उसको सेटअप करवाया था. तो उसके बाद जब से ये सिस्टम शुरू हुआ 1975 में, उसके बाद हमारी 8 ऐसी कॉन्फ्रेंसेस हो चुकी हैं. उनमें से 2 इंडिया में, 8 में से 2 इंडिया में हुई, 2 मॉरिशस में हुई, 1 त्रिनिडाद एंड टोबैगो में हुई, 1 सूरीनाम में, 1 यूके में और 1 यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका. तो इस चीज़ को अगर आप देखें कि जिस तरह से इसका वर्ल्ड हिंदी कॉन्फ्रेंसेस का स्प्रेड है, उससे आपको अंदाज़ा लगेगा कि ये चीज़ किस तरह से ग्रेजुअली इनफैक्ट इज़ ग्रोइंग इन इट्स पॉपुलैरिटी. तो उसकी थीम्स का भी ऐसे ही टाइम के साथ साथ इसके जो थीम्स थे, इसके जो एकेडमिक सेशंस हैं, उनके अंदर भी बदलाव पाया है. हर नए सेशन के साथ और हर नए कॉन्फ्रेंस के साथ उसमें बदलते हुए समय को मद्देनजर रखते हुए नए इश्यूज और सब्जेक्ट्स को जोड़ा गया. जैसे कि अकबर ने बोला कि इस बार का जो मेन थीम है वो है भाषा की अस्मिता एंड हिंदी का वैश्वीकरण, as mentioned, identity of language and the global context, हिंदी in the global context. और इसके साथ हमारे 8 एकेडमिक सेशंस होंगे और वो हम 2.5 दिन के अंदर उनको चलाएंगे। अगर आप एकेडमिक सेशंस को देखें तो उसके जो मुद्दे हैं, उसके जो सब्जेक्ट्स हैं, उनसे आपको इस चीज़ का अंदाज़ा होगा कि किस तरह से ये कॉन्फ्रेंस जो है समय के साथ साथ एक कॉन्टेम्पोरेरी टच जो उसको देखने का समय है उसको दिया है उसने, क्योंकि इस बार हम साउथ अफ्रीका में कर रहे हैं ये कॉन्फ्रेंस और ये अफ्रीकन मेन कॉन्टिनेंट पे पहली बार ये कॉन्फ्रेंस होगी। तो आपको इसका बैकग्राउंड कि हम what are the issues which really were taken into account while we decided to work in South Africa, क्योंकि मेनलैंड में हमने ये कभी नहीं किया था अभी तक। मॉरिशस में हुआ 2 बार, लेकिन मेन कॉन्टिनेंटल अफ्रीका में हम नहीं गए थे। और जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि अफ्रीका के साथ हमारे बहुत पुराने संबंध हैं और उसके कई फैक्टर्स हैं, हिस्ट्री है, बहुत बड़ा डायस्पोरा है, हमारे कल्चरल लिंक्स हैं और सबसे बड़ी बात अब जो है जो इकोनॉमिक रिलेशनशिप जो काफ़ी रफ्तार से आगे बढ़ रही है, बहुत सारे सब्जेक्ट्स और इश्यूज के अंदर। और जोहानिसबर्ग को जब सोचा तो उसमें बहुत बड़ी बात थी कि महात्मा गांधी को उस जगह से रिलेशनशिप। तो इस बात को देखकर इनफैक्ट इसमें एक थीम है महात्मा गांधी की भाषा दृष्टि और वर्तमान का संदर्भ। दिस इज इनफैक्ट गांधी जी ने जो काम हिंदी के लिए किया, दैट आई थिंक इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। तो इसलिए उसमें ये इशू, एक तो गांधी जी का साउथ अफ्रीका के साथ जो हिस्टोरिक रिलेशनशिप, दूसरा उनका हिंदी के साथ रिलेशनशिप, दोनों चीज़ों को जोड़कर इस नतीजे को पहुंचे। इसमें एक जो मेन थीम हो वो महात्मा गांधी की भाषा दृष्टि और वर्तमान के साथ, और उसके बाद जो इश्यूज हैं वो काफ़ी कॉन्टेम्प्रेरी और मॉडर्न इश्यूज हैं, जैसे हिंदी फिल्म, रंगमंच और मंच की भाषा का। ऑफ कोर्स दिस वन इशू व्हिच वी रियली एक्सपीरियंस एवरी डे इन आवर लाइफ, हाउ रियली Hindi is reaching our homes every day through this channel of films, रंगमंच और मंच की भाषा। नेक्स्ट थीम जो है हमारा सूचना प्रौद्योगिकी, देवनागरी लिपि और हिंदी का सामर्थ्य। इज बेसिकली डू विद टेक्नोलॉजी कि बिकॉज टुडे वी आर ऑल कैरिंग सेल फोन्स एंड आईपॉड्स एंड लैपटॉप्स, तो उसमें यूज ऑफ स्क्रिप्ट, देवनागरी स्क्रिप्ट, adaptation of Devanagari into the information technology, that is a very very major requirement. If you don't adapt Devanagari script into the IT tools, then you will see there will be a certain handicap. So that's why we have kept this, so that handicap is overcome and we are able to adapt the application of Devanagari in our communications using IT tools. नेक्स्ट है लोकतंत्र और मीडिया की भाषा के रूप में हिंदी। ऑफ कोर्स the largest functional democracy, we are aware why this theme has been kept. विदेश में भारतीय ग्रंथों की भूमिका। Now this was a subject which came from our South African interlocutors and partners, because they were of this opinion that in many places the role of Granth, which means our epics and other books, those books have played in keeping the language alive. फिर चाहे वो कोई भी ग्रंथ की बात हो, लेकिन उसने जो लैंग्वेज को जिंदा रखा बहुत दूर दराज इलाकों में, उसकी इम्पोर्टेंस पे तवज्जो देना जरूरी है, तो इसको वो उसने रखा। एक है ज्ञान विज्ञान और रोजगार की भाषा के रूप में। Now this is again something very contemporary and modern, because when we have a steering committee, when this whole thing was being discussed in steering committee, the issue was unless a language is able to be organically related to one's livelihood, its sustainability would not be there. So इस चीज को उसके साथ रोजगार मीन्स एम्प्लॉयमेंट, क्रिएशन, प्रोफेशन, उसके साथ इसको कैसे जोड़ा जाए कि किसी भी किस्म का प्रोफेशन जो चाहे उसमें आपकी अपनी भाषा कोई किसी किस्म का हैंडीकैप नहीं, इट शुड फैसिलिटेट एंड नॉट रियली बिकम एन हिंड्रेंस। तो उस चीज़ के ऊपर एक स्पेशल सेशन वर्क है जिससे कि इस चीज़ को डिस्कस किया जाए कि in terms of technology, in terms of tools, in terms of whatever is needed, are we up to the mark or not? So this is an important subject. हिंदी के विकास में विदेशी प्रवासी लेखकों की भूमिका, again, because some of you really might come as a surprise. Though of course we know there are foreign scholars who have taken interest in Indian culture, Indian languages for ages, in fact. And some of those were somehow also role models for our own study of our own history and culture and civilization values. So their role, because they are scholars abroad, they are not necessarily of Indian origin, who are working on Hindi, Sanskrit, other Indian languages, and trying to understand what contribution they are making for the, what should I say, because I somehow control myself and not use the term promotion and propagation, because it looks like, as if we are trying to promote some consumer good. So how to really carry this whole thing forward? So there will be a session on the foreign scholars and their work in Hindi. Hindi के प्रसार में अनुवाद, this is a very technical subject of course, because the works are translated very regularly from one language to the other. So they want to have a technical session on what is the role of translation in the promotion of a particular language. Then lastly, this also came from South African interlocutors. दक्षिण अफ्रीका में हिंदी शिक्षा युवाओं का योगदान. In fact, you'll be again probably pleasantly surprised. There is an organization called Hindi Shiksha Sangh. They are our partners for the 9th World Hindi Conference, and they run hundreds of language centers for teaching to interested locals. So this is something very, and they have done it on their own without anybody's help. Which is those students who go there, either they go out of sheer interest, and some of them are paying for those classes. So this is. And then of course, in addition to these academic sessions, we are also going to have an exhibition there, where we would have exhibition of literature, books, IT tools related to Hindi language. And then also, as part of the conference, there is a tradition of awarding or recognizing scholars, both from India and abroad. So normally up to 20 scholars are recognized at World Hindi conferences. And before I round up, in fact, we'll also have some publications. One is called Smarika, which in fact brings out what we have done since 1975 as part of the World Hindi Conference. And then there will be daily newsletters. We also have cultural activities in the margins. And we expect something about 600 to 700 people to participate in the World Hindi Conference. It's going to be a big event, and probably participants should come from about 25 to 30 different countries, which will include, of course, the main diaspora countries also. So with this, I will conclude, but I know you want to give time for questions. And thanks for the invitation.
Before we go to the questions, I just want, and we open up the floor for questions, we will take you back in history to 1966, 24th January 1966 was a sad day in Indian history. That was when the Kanchenjunga crashed in the Alps. 24th January 1966. There was much talked about diplomatic bag which was on that flight. Several of you wanted to know about this bag and wanted to see what were its contents. So my colleague, Mr. Vishwadeep Dey, has arranged for the contents to be brought here along with the bag. The bag is available there, and it was a C category bag, which means that it had largely publications and newspapers. And to the credit of the newspapers of that period, they all survived. So all of you can have a look at some of the newspapers which have survived for 40 years in the snow at a height of 1830 meters on Mont Blanc. The idea was just to indicate to you that when you request information from us, we take it seriously, and when the bag comes home, we are available, we make it available for you in full transparency. Those of you who want to know about what this bag carried, it basically had calendars, it had newspapers, the leading newspapers of that time, both in English and in Hindi. It had magazines, also it had personal letters. It was traveling from here to France and then onward to New York. So there were some personal letters from our consulate in New York. And that's about what I have. When we end this, you're welcome to have a look at it. It still is wet with the ice of the Alps there, but you're welcome to use any information that is available, the date of the newspapers and other items that were found there. With that, I close this part, but we are now open to questions. Let's begin in our usual way with first questions on the Hindi conference, and then we will have questions on the bag, and then questions on anything else that you would want me to answer. So let's begin with questions on the Hindi conference first. Yes, sir. Just hold on. He will bring the mic so that we can record your questions.
Who will inaugurate the conference?
You see, in fact, it will be jointly inaugurated. Of course, the Indian delegation will be led by Minister of State, Srimati Praneet Kaur, and we expect a senior level ministerial presence from South Africa for jointly inaugurating this. We also have some confirmation from other countries of ministerial participation. And since we are still about 4 days away from the event, these things sometimes are really confirmed at the 11th hour. But we expect from South Africa and from other countries some ministerial presence, and then we jointly inaugurate. This is World Hindi Conference, so it has to be done. But from our side, we know it's Minister of State, Srimati Praneet Kaur.
Yes, Seema? Just a minute.
What would be the cost plan for this conference?
I will be able to tell you after the conference is over, because then only I know how much we spent. But I'll tell you how much was spent on the last conference, 8th conference in New York. The total cost, including everything, was about 6 crore rupees. And there also we had about 700 participants.
Just 1 minute, please, Mr. Venkat Narayan. We will go one by one.
Hindi is the mother tongue of about 40 crores of Indians living in the country. What is the estimate of Hindi speakers out of the 25 million strong diaspora? Do you have any figures?
You see, how many speak Hindi, or what's the number of diaspora abroad?
Diaspora, I know, 25 million. Of them, how many are Hindi speakers?
You see, the question is how many, for example, would understand and manage speaking Hindi. I don't have to be a mother tongue Hindi speaker to speak Hindi. I can't show. Akbar, his mother tongue. But he's Rishudit, right? So I think today with the you see media with cable channel reaching right into our homes, I'm very happy. Most people, they may not be native Hindi speakers, but they have picked up, thanks to Bollywood, thanks to the TV, various programs. So they're able to speak and understand Hindi. But when we talk about, for example, these major diaspora countries like Mauritius, like Fiji, like Guyana or Suriname, like that, where in fact the population of Indian origin people is huge. Now they also speak, Hindi in a very, when you talk to them, probably you say, oh, this is slightly different thing, because they took their Hindi with them long ago, and these are slightly different dialects, but they do understand and are able to speak.
Yes, Manish?
Just wanted to know how much what's the fund outlay Delhi has set aside for promotion of Hindi language. That's one. And then second is, you said the whole process of World Hindi Conference started in 1975.
Yes.
And it's 32 years now. And we've only had 9 conferences so far. I mean, how do you explain that?
You see, in fact, World Hindi Conference is probably the largest international event that we have on Hindi. And normally it's done in 3-4 years. But that's not the only thing that we do. In between 2 World Hindi Conferences, we also have several countries organizing what's called regional Hindi conferences. For example, recently, over the last about year and a half, we had a regional Hindi conference in UK. We had one in Japan. We had one in Spain. And just before that, we had one in Budapest. Now, just imagine, for example, I was asked to go to Madrid. I couldn't go, but then I was told it was a very successful regional Hindi conference, where a large part of the participation was local scholars. So, in fact, we don't only have World Hindi conferences, we also have in between the regional Hindi conferences. Then it comes to, for example, our standard, activities in terms of supporting those organizations and institutions. We have a very regular practice of, for example, supporting with books, literature, IT tools, softwares. And though we have a relatively small budget, but it works very, very effectively. And in fact, something which is very important there is, we received, in fact, a large number of requests from our missions and universities and centers abroad, asking for books for children. Those small, tiny books which bedside while you go to sleep, those tiny stories. And we send large number of those books to various centers so that the children are able to appreciate and are able to relate to their languages. And we have about, I think, something little less than 3 crores of budget every year on such activities like books and software and IT applications, and also Hindi classes abroad, for example. If there is a place where they want to organize Hindi classes for locals, and they need some help in terms of paying to the teacher some small honorarium, we help in that also. So while the overall budget is small, but it is a very effective tool of helping those who want to be in touch with their language.
Ranjit?
दक्षिण अफ्रीका में भी कई लोग हिंदी बोलते हैं, उनमें से कई ऐसे नामी लोग हैं जिनकी भागीदारी होती है उसमें। और इंडिया से कितने डेलीगेट्स आए हैं?
इंडिया से अभी तक हमारे पास कोई लगभग 300 के करीब लोगों ने रजिस्टर किया है, और जहाँ तक उनके
We will provide to you at the end of this discussion. Anything else on Hindi? Yes, the floor is open for any other questions that you may have on anything else. Yes, this bag was received last week. It was sent from our mission on the 7th, but collected because there is a process of cooling period both at that end and at this end. It was collected last week from the airport. Pardon? Pardon? Well, we hope through you this will be publicized, and if anybody shows any interest, we will take it from there. Pardon? No, we haven't. They are not. They are unopened. You can have a look at them. They are in covers. Some of them. I mean, there was, in terms of personal letters, there was only, I think, one personal letter which is marked to our council there, but there are other letters about invitations and things like that which are available there. But there is, my understanding is that there perhaps is only one letter which is of a personal nature, and that is, yes, I have it from Mr. C.G.K. Menon, who was Consul General in 1966 in New York.
So could you repeat the name?
C.G.K. Menon, Consul General in New York in 1966.
To answer your question, आपका जो प्रश्न था उसके लिए ये मेरे पास लिस्ट है उनके जो साउथ अफ्रीकन स्कॉलर्स हैं जो हमारे एकेडमिक सेशंस में हिस्सा लेंगे। उनके नाम इस प्रकार हैं। एक है प्रोफेसर राम भजन सीताराम, दूसरे हैं डॉक्टर वीना लक्ष्मण, और हैं डॉक्टर उषा देसाई, श्री फकीर हसन, श्रीमती शिवा श्रीवास्तव, श्रीमती भवानी प्रीतिपाल, डॉक्टर ध्रुव पांडे। तो 5-6 नाम तो हमारे एक्सपर्ट्स ने जो कि एकेडमिक सेशंस में हिस्सा।
Yes, now, Geeta, you had a question. I presume all the questions on Hindi and the bag are over.
The bag.
Yes, one question, last question on the bag. Yes, Manish.
What is the weight of the bag? What is planned to do with it?
I think I've answered the second question earlier. On the weight, I'm not aware of the exact weight, but we will try and find out and let you know about it, because it should be available, because the cost of freight is determined by the weight, and we will let you know certainly about that. But that said, on what we intend to do about it, we are open, and we will. It was some of you who had enormous amount of interest, so we displayed it. If you have some interest, either through you or through the public, what needs to be done, we will carefully consider it. At this time, we do not have a set idea of what we intend to do with these contents, but these certainly are historical contents of a bag which reached its destination only 46 years later.
Apart from these letters and newspapers, is there anything valuable beyond?
Newspapers of 46 years ago which survived 40 years in the snow are valuable enough. And I think those newspapers whose, those news houses whose newspapers have survived 40 years certainly would be interested in them, I presume, and they can have a look at what they are. I will not comment on those.
But the destination was New York.
No, in some cases Paris and some cases New York. Pardon, no, it was, the bag left from Delhi. Yes, it came back. Yes, sir. Yes, anything on the bag, sure.
Private letter was already delivered to the.
No, it wasn't delivered because it was stopped midway and the bag came back.
You collect the bag and collect the letter.
We will, yeah, we are taking action on that. Anybody else on the bag?
So how did it end up in this snow? I mean, was the mail coming? So could you talk a little bit about how it ended up on this snow?
Well, the crash, incidentally for your information, it's sad but true that there were two crashes of two Indian aircraft on Mont Blanc. The first was, I think, just a minute. The first was on 10th October 1950, Boeing 7, and the second was on 24 January 1966. And from the contents, I think the first was called, yes, Malabar Princess in 1950 on Mont Blanc, and the second was Kanchenjunga on 24th January 1996. So 10th October 1950 and 26th January 1966, there were two crashes. 24th January, sorry, I apologize, it's 24th January. So both these crashes occurred in the same place, but with the contents page of that bag and the contents of that bag, we were able to identify that it was from the Kanchenjunga crash. 1966, yes. Just 1 minute, please.
Is there any other bag which is missing, or I mean, how often from the crash, diplomatic bag?
No. If there is a crash, we are aware that bags are missing during crashes. Otherwise, diplomatic bags, we keep very close track of such documents. Well, I think we will end at that now. There are others in the line for various other things I would suggest, and I will ask Anup to take lead because I know you are interested in various other things. Okay. Yes, Ita, you had a question?
This is for the Sri Lankan president's visit. He will be coming in tomorrow. Is this an official visit? Are there going to be bilaterals? And will India impress upon Sri Lanka on the Tamil situation in Sri Lanka? Also, any concerns raised by the Sri Lankans on the security matter with regards to the protests by Tamil?
Yes, the President of Sri Lanka was invited by the government of Madhya Pradesh to attend the foundation stone laying ceremony of the International Buddhist University at Sanchi in Madhya Pradesh on 21st September 2012. President Mahinda Rajapaksa of Sri Lanka has accepted this invitation and will be coming to India. In this context, on behalf of the Government of India, the Ministry of External Affairs is providing all necessary facilitation to the head of state of Sri Lanka, which is an important and friendly neighbor, on the President's visit to India. During his stopover in New Delhi, President Rajapaksa will call on President Pranab Mukherjee and will also meet Prime Minister Manmohan Singh on 20th September 2012. As regards the agenda and the other discussions, we will certainly let you know, as is our practice, that we will let you know once the outcome of these talks are over. It is not our practice to tell you in advance what we intend to raise, but be assured that all issues of interest between India and Sri Lanka will be discussed. I have no information of any luncheons, but yes, the Prime Minister will have a dinner with President Rajapaksa. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, can I know about India's stance over China and Japan dispute over island? So,
yes, please.
The Chinese ambassador yesterday stated they will be very about this dispute.
Okay, let me try and combine both these since they are very similar or are interlinked. Yes, we have been made aware of the Chinese position on this issue, and I'd like to step back a little bit and indicate to you that as a general policy on such matters, and there are several such matters of maritime and other disputes between countries, our policy has been consistent, and that is that we would hope that these issues are resolved by the parties concerned in an amicable manner.
Sir, there have been a couple of flag meetings in the Ladakh area between Indian and Chinese military officials in recent weeks after several incursions. Has there been anything at the diplomatic level after this?
I don't know what it means, anything at the diplomatic level after this.
After these meetings, after these flag meetings?
There have not been any, I don't know what dates you're talking of. I think it would be, if you are specific, I will try and respond to you.
There have been two flag meetings,
Dates,
one in
please.
August and one in September.
Yes.
And this,
Could you tell me the dates, please?
I don't have that.
Yeah,
Right now with me, but
yeah,
there were-
sure.
this was a result of several incursions in the Chumar and the SSN areas, subsector north areas. And one was at a colonel's level and one was at a brigadier's level. Now, has India taken this up at a diplomatic level after?
I will need to check up once you indicate the specific dates to me, so I would suggest that you give me the dates and I will certainly respond to you in my next briefing. Anyone else? Yes, Manish.
Just coming back to China and Japan, in Ireland, the Japan approach or has updated us of their position to sort out and
I am not aware of that at this stage, but let me assure you that our embassy closely follow these issues. So in terms of information about what a particular country's views are on a particular issue, we are fairly well briefed. Well then, thank you very much. Yes, last question, Geet. Yes. Yes, I think you're referring to Indrashish Saha, the son of Debashish Saha. Yes. My understanding is that the last court hearing was on the 14th of September. On that day, the next court hearing was fixed for, I think, November 1st. The child has been now the child has been permitted to meet with his parents once a week. Also, the judge has decided that in accordance with New Jersey law, there should not be any interaction of the parents or others concerned with the media as a precautionary measure for safety of the child. And we all have been advised to abide by that decision. The next case is on 1st of November. And my understanding is that the parents of the child have been in touch with our consulate in New York and have requested for assistance in finding out the services of an expert doctor who can advise them on the factors related to the shaken baby syndrome so that they can have the benefit of their views and the lawyer can take this up later. And given the fact that this is now interim view of the judge, I would request you all that beyond that, we will not be able to speak on this matter because this is what the law of New Jersey State provides for and we will abide by that. Thank you very much.